All right. We are live in Vegas, Super Bowl Media Week. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden, BS Screen Network, The Real Deal with Courtney Harden. And look who we got in the building. We got the Blonde Blitz, the dynamic duo, Deb Whitcas, two-time Emmy winner. She's been nominated how many times?
9.
See, that 9 times. Yes. And she got her partner in crime, Nikki Giss, New York Giants fan. I don't never hold that against her at all.
I'm in enemy territory.
And all that. She's a good friend of the show. Like I said, Blonde Blitz, great reporter, all that. So the Blonde Blitz dynamic duo. How you guys doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
On Media Row, Super Bowl. So how's the experience been? I know you've been here 4 times. It's your first time. So how has it been?
Well, thank God I have Deb. That's all I have to say. Although she won't take a comment.
I'm trying to. We're having a blast so far.
Yeah.
We just got back from the media availability.
The Niners. Yeah, that was great.
And both these teams are ready.
Yeah.
They are ready to go to battle. And everyone's hyped and everyone's ready to go.
Ready to go. Yeah, we met just yesterday at the opening there, and it was good to meet you. Always good to meet you. Now
I literally screamed.
Yeah, like we've known each other for years and everything too, because we've done so many shows together and everything too. But talk about what the Blonde Blitz is for those that don't know what the show's about, how you guys got together, and all those things.
Yeah, so Deb and I have done a few podcasts before in the past, and we finally were both available this summer. Reached out to each other. Hey, you want to get together, do a football show? And really, who better?
Yeah,
no one's better.
And we're both from New Jersey, so we clicked immediately. I met her last year during Super Bowl. Yeah. And she was on a panel, and I'm like, "Who's this blonde chick? Like, I'm the blonde chick here."
She's a Giants fan.
I'm like, "Oh wow!"
From Jersey too, and everything.
But no, it was funny because Nikki was like, "Oh, Kansas City's gonna win last year," and I was like, "Wait, what? Like, no, the Eagles were taking this."
You were on that panel too.
I was on
that
panel.
You all told me you had no concerns about the Kansas City Chiefs, and I asked you all specifically, do you have concerns about Andy Reid? And the entire panel said no.
We did.
We did say that.
Yeah, yes, we absolutely did.
And then Courtney falls off the face of the earth after they lose the Super Bowl.
Come on, you know me longer than that. I come back like, okay, I might took a day or 2 off.
No, I didn't hear from him, and then he was like, "Hey, do you want to do a show?" It was like in the summer. I'm like, "Oh, now you come back."
Well, it was a heartbreaking, as Eagles fan, it was a heartbreaking last year, and the way the season ended this year. I'm not gonna get into that, but
we moved on already.
I think we moved on. we
for this week we have.
For this week, it's all about the 49ers and the Chiefs. So let's get your predictions now. What do you guys think on both sides the 49ers and the Chiefs. What do they have to do to get the win? And we want to get your predictions too. So we'll start with you, Deb.
I mean, I feel like I want the 49ers to win this. I think they have a more balanced team in general. I mean, how many times have I said this? You know, Ayuk, Purdy, Kittle, Bosa, who is the nicest man. I interviewed him for like 5 minutes yesterday. Might have a new obsession. Yeah. But I mean, they're just such a balanced team. But you know, they almost didn't make it through the playoffs. You know what I mean? I mean, they're here and they're here for a reason. But Kansas City, man, for the season that they had, they're looking pretty good. Yeah. And they clicked at the right time. And Mahomes doesn't give up, and you know, especially at the last minute of the games. And
they've had a ton of ups and downs this year.
Yeah.
It's not normally that's not what they have.
Right.
They've been able to weather the storm.
They flipped that switch.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes is one of those players in this flip the switch.
Right. You can't bet against him. Like, he's in that Tom Brady realm of bet against him, except for the Giants or the Eagles, who have beaten New England in the Super Bowl, just want to say. But you can't bet against those guys, and Patrick Mahomes is that same type of guy. But, Nikki, what do you think of the matchup itself? Are you going for Kansas City, San Francisco? Which side?
So my concern here is sometimes San Francisco starts really slow, especially in the big game. And I think Kansas City's going to start really fast and take advantage. Yeah. But we saw what the 49ers did. All of a sudden, we flipped that switch in the second half, and they came back. So I'm rooting for the 49ers. I'm sick of the Chiefs, just like everybody else. I'm tired of them.
They won last year.
I think this is the 49ers' year. They've been close. Mm-hmm. They've had issues where they haven't been healthy. Now they're finally healthy, and this is probably their best shot. Over the past few years.
Well, they've been doing. They were doing a lot of talking when the Eagles knocked their quarterbacks out last year,
and that game wasn't really fair.
It wasn't fair, but
I knew it.
I feel personally that we were going to beat them anyway last year. You know, the way we were doing, but we were the underdogs, which I didn't get. But
I thought you guys were talking.
We're talking about
we have to reel it back in a little bit. But so you guys are out here in Vegas. How has, like you said, the experience and all that? What do you guys got coming up over the next? I know you guys got some parties you guys are invited to.
That's the queen of the Super Bowl over here.
A lot going
I'm
on.
just, Deb's like, you got to be here at this time.
Media dinner.
Literally have my schedule here. We have got an interview coming up with Sharice Brown. She's off the field, NFL Wives, and we're going to their fashion show. It's a charity fashion show that the wives, have every year. That's going to be on Friday. We're excited. We're doing that from 1 to 4. I've been wanting to do that since I was like 4 years. I've been wanting to go to the show, and I haven't been able to. So this year I'm finally going. What else do we have? God, so much going on.
Media party tonight.
The media party.
Yes.
We'll be there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I need a drink.
Absolutely.
1 or 2 or 3.
Take the
take that shuttle. Yes, take that shuttle.
We've got Jen Welter's event, Day in the Life. She's going to have over 200 women on the field. They're going to learn about playing football, the X's, the O's. We're going to work on our spiral.
Okay, yeah.
That's my personal.
And she does that every year too, right?
She does. She skipped out last year because she was one of the linebackers coach for XFL. They started literally last year, the week after Super Bowl. But I did talk to her, and she was really bummed that she wasn't able to come last year. But this year she's here. She's actually on Media Row, here. We just saw her. But she's got a great event, Day in the Life. It's Thursday at 9 a.m. And then also she has a camp for girls. It's a Gridiron Girls camp. Joy Taylor will be joining as well. So we're all excited to work with her.
Yes.
Yeah, Joy Taylor. Shout out to Joy Taylor. And you guys got that Super Bowl party on Saturday, right?
Yes,
live podcast. Your first live podcast, right?
Yeah. So AC Caswell, former wide receiver for the Raiders. Yeah. He's got the $1 Million Mingle going on Saturday night and invited Nikki and I to do a live broadcast.
And that's for charity too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. AC's all about charities. I think actually it's a dog. One of them, he's got 3 or 4. One is a dog rescue or an animal rescue, which is my heart.
Right.
So I was very excited for that when he asked.
And also cigars and
stars.
Okay,
Yes. Jaws.
Yes.
We have an interview with him on the red carpet. And Marnie Schneider, her grandfather, former Eagles owner.
Can't get away.
Cannot get away. We're going to the culinary kickoff,
which is hysterical that I'm covering food. You guys don't know me.
Nikki Takes, talk about that.
Takes, I don't know. Nikki Food Takes is taken off because I just eat everything and I exist off caffeine and smoothies.
Yep.
And so what do you like?
Smoothies, salad. That's about it. Seafood, sushi.
No pizza?
You know what? I don't really like sauce. That's my problem. Yeah. I don't like tomatoes.
Oh God, I love tomatoes. It's so funny because Nikki and I are so similar, and then there's like things we're just completely opposite.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't mind a white pie. You know, it's a sauce.
We're Jersey girls, so.
Yeah, Jersey girls.
I definitely hate cheesesteaks.
That's more of a Philly thing.
That's a Philly thing, yeah.
So are both of you guys Giants fans?
Eagles fan,
Giants.
I'm a Giants fan. I cover for the New York Giants for Jersey Sporting News. It's very cool to grow up a Giants fan and then cover for your favorite team.
Right.
Which does not happen for us.
So interesting enough, you went on Courtney's show and you talked about the Cowboys, and that clip that I cut is one of our most popular TikTok
Which one?
clips.
Leave it to Nikki.
What I do?
She goes viral, man.
Yeah. So you said this is the thing about the Cowboys every year, but they don't do what they're supposed to do.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
And their fans are not right.
Right. I think I said they're accident waiting to happen.
Yes.
That's what it was. And I said, don't do it. It said,
I was going off, and then you hear Courtney just go, "Don't do it." It's going off. And
yeah, that was
that
was good. So
their fans aren't right. They're mean.
And you got two Cowboy fans
I'm
here.
sorry. Well, I got these messages that are not nice.
We keep it real all the time.
Yep.
We both said they weren't going to the Super Bowl. I made a post about delusional Cowboys fans.
I heard some Cowboy fans that said they were.
Oh, there's a lot. Believe me.
In July, you guys were going to the Super Bowl.
They're delusional.
They're the delusional fans. Yeah. So I gotta ask you both about, because you guys are into pop culture and all that. What do you guys? I know we talked about this about the Taylor Swift. Gotta ask. Taylor Swift moving the needle as what she's done. I mean, we can't deny that. Like every time they show her, it helps her, it helps the NFL, all those things. What do you guys think of all the coverage that Taylor Swift is bringing to the NFL?
Good.
I'm for it.
Yeah, I think
bringing
it's
the female fans over. And I know Deb and I had talked. We both get messages from women who are like, I don't know what third down is or what is a tight end do. And hey, guys, it's okay. It's okay to ask those questions. We want you to be fans of the sport. So hey, she's great marketing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She knows it too. But
both of the stocks are rising. NFL, hers, Chelsea.
Yeah. I mean, last night at opening night, so many people just bombarded, Travis Kelce, and it was all Taylor Swift. It's all you heard, and all the other players too, like, on the Kansas City Chiefs. They were like, Taylor Swift, and they're like, we're not Kelce. Ask him.
Do you guys have a favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh, jeez.
Come on, everybody does.
What's that song, Christina?
I'll be honest.
No.
I'm not sure.
Trouble. That's my favorite Taylor. Early Taylor Swift, I love.
Yeah,
I love that. That's the one.
Shame on me.
Yes, that one.
Oh, Deb's singing for us, everybody.
Yes, that's the one. What was your favorite Taylor Swift? Since you're a Swiftie.
I am a Swiftie. I have too many that I like, but I do like Bad Blood.
Oh, that's a good one. Who was that about? She wrote that about somebody, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Lavender Haze is good.
Okay. Yeah, she goes through the errors.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
Yes. Good too. Yep. I personally like Endgame. I want to be your Endgame. Like.
Okay.
Just because it's football, right?
So
or sports.
So if she breaks up with Kelce, what's the name of that song gonna be?
That's
the breakup.
Question.
Another error.
Red flags. Red flags.
I hate the Chiefs.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
Chiefs Kingdom. If she names it Chiefs Kingdom,
she'll name it something.
Yeah,
she already did Red, right? Like,
Red Part 2.
I don't see them breaking up though.
Heard they were engaged.
Oh,
what?
And that they're supposed to announce it after.
Oh, okay.
After he wins.
After he wins. Now, if he loses, That's gonna be a whole different storyline.
It's win-win for her no matter what. If they break up, she writes a fire album.
Yes.
If they get married, she'll write a fire album. Like either way, it's good.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, last one. What are you guys gonna get out of this experience, out of the Super Bowl Media Row, and let everyone know where they can follow you, find you, all those socials and everything?
I'll let Nikki take all the socials because she's really good at it.
Yes. Any final words?
Yes. No, I'm just hoping, you know what, Deb has been amazing so far. And thank God I have her as a coach and just kind of guiding us through this week of craziness. But it's been fun, and we're just trying to get Blonde Blitz out there for everybody and of course, make connections. And you can find me at NikkiNick9384. You can follow Blonde Blitz Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and follow Blonde Blitz on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
You can also find us on TSS Fantasy as well, on their YouTube channel as well. And you can personally find me at Sport Report Deb on Twitter, TikTok, and IG.
We appreciate both of you guys. Definitely.
Thank you.
Really
We're excited to be here.
To the table. Yes. And, we've been talking all the way through it over the last couple of years. We finally made it happen. So we really appreciate you guys, your time and everything.
Thanks for having us.
And follow the Blonde Blitz. I was a guest on the show, and I had a tremendous time, and I would love to do it
Christmas show.
I did a Christmas show, and it was a lot
our
of fun.
family show.
Dan
was on, Courtney was on.
Yeah, we did a little bit of everything. Yeah, so we appreciate you guys, and follow the Blonde Blitz, follow Nikki and Deb, and they will be winning another Emmy. I predict that right now.
Thank you. I'm going for it. Yes. Going for it. I was bummed I didn't get number 3. So
yes. All right. Well, that's a wrap for the show.
Thank you guys.
More content coming up. BS3 Radio and The Real Deal with Courtney Harden. Peace.
Bye.
All right, welcome back. We have our next guest live on Radio Row in Las Vegas, BS3 Network. We have Dr. Darlene Williams-Pradas on the show, and we are blessed to have her on. So tell us and the viewers a little bit about yourself.
My name is Reverend Dr. Darlene Williams-Pradas. I've been doing what I've been doing now for over 30 years. And what we do with Invisible Me LLC and Superior Love Forever is we help people, but we focus on athletes and we focus on couples and we focus on families to help them mitigate, terminate, and evaluate their situations. When you're a young athlete and you're coming into money, you've never had it, the first thing you want to do is be the hammer. You want to tell everybody what to do because you've been your nail all your life. And that's just not the situation. That's an illusion. And so the first thing we do is we want to talk to these young athletes up front and let them know, yes, you've just got this grand job that you've always dreamed of. But let's look at it as a reality check. Number one, if you've ever injured, there's going to be an issue. If you ever do anything that you're not supposed to, there's going to be an issue. If you break any of these rules, there's going to be an issue. So let's mitigate all that. Let's look at where are you now and where do you want to be? Don't look at yourself where you want to be tomorrow. Look at yourself where you want to be 5, 10, 15 years from now, because you aren't your job, which is football, baseball, basketball, whatever your sport. Right. You are you. So how about let's work on you? Yeah. Let's work on to have the good relationships with our family, to have the good relationships with our friends, to have the good relationships with our spouses, and to have the good relationship with our God. If we can't make the head and the heart match up, we're never going to reach where we want to go. So when I do impact action speaking, it's because I speak, I want you to do that action. I'm going to give you the steps to get you from point A to point B, but all the way to Z. I'm here before, during, and after your relationship on purpose. If you have a relationship that's in turmoil, I want to know what your love language is, not because I want to know if you love, I want to know if you love yourself and if you love your God. I'm not interested if you love this female or if you love that male, because guess what? They could be here today and gone tomorrow, but you're going to be here forever. If they leave you, is it going to hurt you bad enough for you to hurt yourself? See, come talk to me. Right. Come talk to my husband. We have been athletes. I've been a singer. I play multiple instruments, but my instrument of choice is God. I heard that. Okay. And you have to be able to speak.
Will you come?
And won't you come? Before we get, let me just say that before we get too far down the road, as one of my pastor friends said, she said she was the Reverend Dr. Pradas. And I just need you to know some behind the scenes information that we discovered before. She's not only the Reverend Dr. Pradas, she's the great Reverend Dr. Pradas. And I need y'all to understand that clearly.
Amen.
Okay. And she hails from Baton Rouge,
Louisiana. And if you say it the other way, I'm gonna get you. This all right. See, I know how you people think.
She done been there.
Oh yes, I've been here, done that, and ran over it, and came back and looked at it. It's okay.
You can't come on here and say you can sing.
Oh.
And not get asked to sing.
I'll go. Oh. I'll go wherever you need me. I'll go.
And if you keep saying, I'm finna go in, that's right, I'm finna go, you better not. If you don't want nobody to shout on media, run, you better quit.
See, the people from the South are all the ways about, I don't know why we just not called the show me state. Because every time I say, you say you can sing. Yes, I can. I can sing, I can preach, but I can mediate you out your problem.
I heard that. I love
so we want to save people from themselves. We want to change the world, not 1 second, but 1 minute, 1 hour at a time. And we want to make sure that these athletes and that these young people, because I worked with gang male youth, and working with gang male youth is not easy when you're a woman. When you have to convince 12 young men who have done heinous crimes how to cook gumbo.
Wow.
When you got the opportunity to teach them, you know what, if you did your hair like this, they pay more attention. If you dress yourself like that, they're going to pay more attention. But by the way, you might need this education that you keep telling me you don't need. But let me show you what I see in you. I've allowed men to tell me what their control mechanism is. One young man, it was his hair. He liked his hair long and braided. And I said, but why? He said, because that's the only thing I control. I said, no, no, no. That's not the only thing you control. That's the only thing someone has made you think you control. Right. I said, I guarantee you, if you cut off your hair, baby, you're going to still be the same young man.
Right.
Just neater. That's all.
Yeah,
just
you
neater.
can control your actions.
Yeah.
You can control the outcome of your actions.
Yeah. But you have to have all the information. Right. And a lot of young people, they have parts of the information, so they make a whole lot of bad decisions. And down the road, those decisions become bankrupt, drugs, all kinds of other addictions, divorce, domestic violence, all of these things that they didn't expect. But here's the big thing they don't expect. I'm not going to get hurt. And the league is not going to take some money back.
Right.
You got to get them up front. Tell them the truth up front.
Yeah. And one thing you have that you have noted on your media sheet, stopping trouble before it happens.
Yep.
Talk about that.
Well, when you get into certain situations, let's put it this way. As an adopted child, I never knew my parents. The parents I had passed away when I was 16. I found out when I was 32. I never knew them either because I didn't know for years they were never married. I didn't know for years that they were just living together and raising me. I did not know for years that they were only children and I was never going to have brothers and sisters. So everything was incumbent upon me to take care of me. Now, had somebody told me that, that's how you stop that problem before it starts. Right there. You stop the problem before it starts because I have the information.
Right.
You don't have it, what do? You start making all these bad decisions. Now, I was fortunate enough where I had enough people around me because at that time, it took a village and the village did trust me. Them old folks didn't play. Girl, you ain't in the house by 9 o'clock. Why are you still sitting up, old lady? But you get your neighbors who actually care and they look. I know your parents gone, but I cook you some food. I know your parents gone, but we made sure that your clothes were washed. I know your parents gone, but what you want to do now? I want to go to Southern University. I want to get my journalism degree. All right. Well, let's see if we can get somebody together and get you at school. So I had people who were in my corner and who stood up for me. But somebody had to stop the problem before it started.
Yeah. So what she's saying is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Honey, pounds.
Yeah.
Pounds cure. Yeah.
Love it.
But somebody's got to care. And a lawyer's not going to care about your divorce. He's only going to care about his retainer. You understand? How much can I charge you to get this done? He's never going to say to you, well, yeah, sure. You want to get a divorce? He's going to say, okay, you're going to come to me and I'm going to say, okay, let's talk about this first. And let's have a real conversation that's honest about why this is this way. This is getting two people together who probably think they hate each other. And it's not that. There's an undercurrent that's going on that nobody's talking about. And that's my job.
There's a root to what's going on.
There's a root.
A root.
There's a root.
Or a root. There's
a root to what's going on. And so my husband and I do it as a team. We do it as a tag team. Sometimes he takes a guy and I got the girl. Sometimes it's opposite because there are sometimes men will listen to a woman before they'll listen to another man. They're like, bro, you don't even know. But I've had so many couples come to me and go, thank you. Because if you had not stepped in and said, we ain't doing this today, I'm not in the mood. And I tell couples up front, when you come to me, please be aware I have no time to play with you.
I heard that.
I'm going to be honest, open, and transparent. I said, if you know what cellophane is, baby, I'm that. I said, if you know what God is, baby, I'm that. And if you know what your mama used to look like when she got mad at you and she told you not to do so, I'm that too. I said, but at the end of the day, everything I'm doing is because I want to save. I want to not just salvage, but to save.
Just the mic in front of you. So working for positive change for athletes. We talked about But a previous guest, John Morant, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Nope.
Basketball. Let me just break it down a little bit. Basketball player, very young, got paid a ton of money. His parents were more so his friends, if you will, than his support and his guidance. And he ended up going on Instagram, showing guns and stuff you really don't need to do. And so, positive change or working on change, what would you say to someone that has been given all of this and they've fumbled it, they've mismanaged it, and they need that positive direction?
Well, first of all, when you meet this young man, you catch them before they fumble.
Right, exactly.
See, now, one thing that
when they get drafted,
yeah, and one thing that an agent or a manager won't do is say, "Don't do that." If they do it, they say it lightly, because what you do affects their pocket. It's their bottom line. For us, that's not what it affects.
Right.
But the other thing is, agent's not gonna pull his parents in. I'm that girl. I'm like, hey, mommy, daddy, can I get you for like 3.5 minutes? Yes. So you're not his friend, but he is not your cash cow either.
Not your meal
so
ticket. Yeah.
This is not going to be a moment where the soul train is this young man right here. You're going to have to get your own soul train. Now, most parents don't want to hear that. Well, this is. But let me tell you what's going to happen. And my husband and I take a whiteboard and we build the picture of this is what could happen if you do this, and this is what will happen if we help him do that. You cannot take someone who has parents as friends and expect them to succeed unless they're the kind of people who they're succeeding. I've always been taught by my mentors, don't follow somebody who don't have nothing. Follow the other dude.
Right.
Why? Because he can teach you how he got it.
Right.
This cat here is following somebody else just like you.
Right.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
So we work very, very hard. We want, what does my husband say? We want to catch them when they're babies so we can teach them the right way. So by the time they get to be teenagers, they can get out of our house.
Yeah, let me break this down for you. What she's saying is we want to catch them while they minnows, not why they Moby Dick.
Hello. I mean, we have 5 kids of our own. One in the Air Force, one in the Army, one's a nurse, the other one's a biochemist, and the other one works for TSA. Okay. Nobody calls mommy and daddy for money. In fact, they ask mommy and daddy, do you need some money? And I'm like, ooh, we raised good children. Yeah. But you know what? That took work. It took work. As I said, I came from a home where I lost both my parents at 16. He came from a home with a single parent. So neither one of us came from a home where everything was like, okay, it's all cool. But yet we knew, okay, these are the things that we don't want our children to do. So how do you do that? Well, we haven't done these things, but we need to talk to them. Communication is the key with anybody. But it has to be respectful communication. Don't think because someone is 16, they don't deserve respect. Of course, in the South, they tell you you're a child. But in reality, if you can commit a crime, it doesn't matter what age you are. I've seen news where a 9-year-old shot another person. You got to be in that pocket, and you've got to be willing to tell them to their face without fear. No.
Yeah, that's not going to work. Talk about your time in the Air Force. How has that impacted you through what you do today?
Discipline, consistent discipline, consistent routine, organizing thoughts, making sure that you plan what you're doing, have a strategy. Like I said, we have a whiteboard. I strategize everything. We took this trip. It was like, no. We need to do this and then do this. And then we're going to do that right there. And that doesn't even count. We can't fit that in. And he looks at it and he goes, yep, that's what we're doing. But we also, as people who have played, I played tennis and then I ran track and I played a little basketball. Okay. He played football and ran track. But we've both taken those skills to do what we do, because you have to have a discipline to succeed. As you can see, I sing. I used to be a singer, but I play violin, viola, cello, and piano. All taking discipline. When I talk to students at Bowie State University when they're just coming in, I said, this takes discipline. I said, if you can do an education online and be a 4.0 student until you graduate, that's discipline. You're paying attention. I've been a 4.0 student since kindergarten. When I graduated with my doctorate degree, I was still a 4.0 student. I'm currently in law school. I'm still a 4.0 student. I graduate next year with my law degree in contract management and labor law. So you have to have a discipline about you and a fortitude that says, I can do this and you can't stop me.
Yeah. And Doc here is an Army veteran.
Excuse me, sir. I'm a veteran of foreign war in the United States military. Don't limit me. Yeah, so that discipline, But I had a little short 5'1.5" mama who happens to be black.
Yes.
Who was made the drill sergeants look like cupcakes to me.
My boys say that. They say, "Ma, you weren't this cuddly when we were young," and I was like, "Yeah, y'all bigger than me. They're trying to be cuddly with y'all big old people. No, see, I get to be cuddly now because you're grown. You're not in my house,
right? Yeah,
and you're not talking back and telling me, well, nope, hold on, son. I pay the rent. I pay the utilities. You eat my food. You're technically wearing my clothes.
That's right.
So you have no negotiation power, to which they generally say, wait, what? So now that my sons have children, and that's the line they use, you have no negotiation power. Yeah. Who says so? Your nana said so. She made that rule. Like when we were kids, that rule still stands. That's a tradition. My granddaughters are 17, 15, and 13. And when they call from Alaska, Dad said, I said, that's the rule. Oh, get off my phone.
That's what's up. I love
and so you treat people with respect. You treat them with love. I make sure before I do any kind of session, I pray for people.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I let them know. I said, look, do you mind if we pray first? I said, because I want to enter a kingdom where God is going to be in control of this situation, these circumstances, and anything that I say or do, anything that I write down. I said, because you need to know that regardless to where you are in your life and what you're doing in your life, he's still going to love you. You just need to call him.
Yeah.
I said, don't just use your cell phone to call me. You don't need a cell phone to call him.
Right. So we're here at the Super Bowl, obviously Kansas City versus San Francisco. Who's your pick?
I don't like the way she said,
Well, I'll say this. If my husband was sitting over there, I'd say, ooh, I wish the Ravens was playing. If my daddy
so you just say that to make him happy.
If my daddy was sitting here, I'd say, ooh, I wish the Saints was playing. But if I have to be honest, I think Kansas City's going to win by 7.
Okay.
I can rock with that.
Okay.
I can rock with that.
They're going to win by 7.
Yeah.
All right. So are you a Saints fan? What team?
Oh, I'm absolutely a Saints fan. What's wrong with you? I'm my daddy's daughter. True. Yeah. Yes, I am a Saints fan through and through. And that's a good thing. My oldest son and I are sports fans, and that's what we do together. That's our thing together. So my husband definitely into sports. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, well, thank you definitely for coming on. Let everybody know where they can find you, follow you, and what you have coming up.
Well, if you want to find me, you can reach me at my email at superiorloveforever@gmail.com, or you can just go to my website at superiorloveforever.com. And what I have coming up is I'm putting a group together of young people to help them to transition from high school to college. Most of these young people are children whose single parent homes, and they kind of figure they can't go to the schools they want to go to, and that's just not true. They just don't know how to do it. Their counselors aren't helping. They're like, hey, why don't you just go to a local school and then transition? I'm like, don't do that. We're going to do it this way. And so that'll be coming up probably in the next 6 to 8 weeks, because we want to make sure we get them ready for May.
Awesome. Well, we thank you very much for coming on, and
thank you.
Let's definitely be in touch, and we'd love to have you on again.
Well, anytime you want me, you know where to find me.
All right.
Remember, with this gumbo, the most important part of it is the roux.
Well, first of all, sir,
you can't get this
if you can't get up in my kitchen and help me out, because gumbo is not cheap.
You can go sit down. If I'm in the kitchen, go kick your feet up and relax.
No,
I got this.
Okay, remember, I said my. I'm inviting you in.
Okay.
You're not taking over,
I
sir.
buy you Friday, and I got no problem with
okay.
that.
Oh, yeah, we can do
I got
that.
no problem with
We
that.
can look. We can do some gumbo. We can do some
Yeah, keep
etouffee.
coming.
We can do some fried catfish.
Keep coming.
Oh Lord, we can do shrimp po' boys.
Keep coming.
Hallelujah. Look, I ain't trying to make nobody fat over here.
Hey.
Too late.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, gentlemen, for having me on your
Thank you.
show. I appreciate you, and I pray that God just keeps blessing you.
Amen.
Thank
Have
you.
a wonderful day.
All right, you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV. BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
All right, welcome back to Live on Radio Row BS3 Network, and we are coming at you again with another great interview. We have the one and only Dr. Q Parnell of Monumental Mentality with us. And,
hello.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. You came out at the table. We got you on the schedule, so we are glad to have you. But first off, just tell us a little bit about yourself, the viewers and ourselves.
Well, hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you all so much for having me. My name is Dr. Q Parnell, and I am a clinical pharmacist by trade, but I'm the CEO and founder of Monumental Mentality. And I'm here today to share my Monumental Impact program.
Awesome. So the Monumental Impact, career transition assistance, personal development, mental health and wellness support, proactive financial support. All four of those things are things that are needed. Everybody needs those to some degree. So I think this is a great avenue. But what made you want to start this?
So what made me want to start it was understanding the issues that not just our professional athletes, because I work with professional athletes, NFL players and beyond. And I also work with individuals, but realizing the different things that people are struggling with. Yeah. And I realized that my purpose in life is to really pour into others. And that's what I found my purpose to be. So I started Monumental Mentality, and Monumental, it took me a minute to try to decide a name. You know, when you're picking a name for a business,
right. You want it to stand out.
Oh man, it's so powerful. You know, this is something that's going to follow you. So I did my research. I call it getting in the lab. So I was in the lab.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I was in the lab and I was getting it in, and I was just researching words that stood out to me. And monumental simply means highly significant and of great importance. And I'm highly significant and of great importance.
Come on.
Each and every one of you are too.
Hey, you talking. And I'm going to say this too, you know, in fact, Ben may have been there the night I discussed and talked about the power of a name at men's fellowship at church one Friday night. And my son was there, and I was telling him, son, you got a name. Okay. And I didn't take that lightly when I gave you your name, right? You know, because it means something. And how can you have a company called Monumental Impact and you not be concerned about the naming of that company? It wouldn't mean anything if you just let the stranger on the street give you the name of your company, right?
Yes.
So, hey, I am so with the fact that you are about that name. That's big. Love
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And for the record, so far she went in the smile contest on Radio Row. She got a smile that's worth $1 million. So I told a gentleman at, I think it was CVS pharmacy one day. I was there to pick up a prescription. It was his brother working in the back. He had a smile that lit up the place. And I told him in front of everybody, I said, man, you got a smile out this world. Right? Now think about that for a second, about impact. A man telling another man in a public forum about a power that he has.
Yes.
And so when I give a speech and I talk about bringing your A game, how can you bring your A game if you don't know what your A game is? And your smile is a part of your A game. You understand? You got that every day. That means you possess that every day.
Yes.
No matter what. It don't matter what the weather like. It don't matter how much in your bank account. It don't matter who's sleeping next to you. You got your A game with you every day, and you better identify what that is so you can build some momentum and you can have an impact.
I love it.
How much you want to pay me to be on your staff is what I need to know.
I love it. I love it. And I agree with everything that you're saying. I agree with that 100%. 100%.
And so where are you based out of?
I live in Columbia, South Carolina, but I say I'm a nomad because I don't even know how often I be at home because I travel a lot. Yeah, traveling, working, and making a monumental impact, making sure that,
like the old people say, out and about. Out and about, to and fro.
Now, let's say what the young folks say. She outside.
Going outside.
In these streets.
Right. So what made you come here to Radio Row, and what message do you want to have for people in the Super Bowl?
Absolutely. So my program, the Monumental Impact, it's built on those 4 pillars that you mentioned earlier. Our goal is to make sure that NFL players and professional athletes are not just the MVP in the game, but we want you to be the MVP in life.
Right.
And how do you do that? You have to meet these 4 pillars. So we work with the career transition assistants. What was your purpose, or what was your passions as a child? I worked with someone who's an athlete, and when he was going through his transition, he realized that he really enjoyed cooking when he was a kid. So now how can you utilize what you've learned in the game, the determination, the dedication, the resilience? How can you use that in different aspects of life? So he was able to use those tools he learned in the game and apply it to becoming a culinary, person.
Right.
And then the next thing is the personal development. I really work on mindset. I call it having a monumental mindset and getting into monumental mode. And it's an acronym. It's motivation, optimism, determination, and discipline to elevate. You have elevation. And when you elevate, you don't just stop. You keep going and you reach higher heights. You go to new levels. The 3rd pillar is the mental health and wellness. I'm sorry.
Oh, you good?
No,
you
good.
good.
Okay. The 3rd pillar is the mental health and wellness. We have licensed professional counselors that works with our athletes, making sure that they have the coping mechanisms and stress management tips and techniques needed when they go through this transition, because we know that it's not going to be easy. You've been defined by being this player
or what you can do
for so long, and it's like, who are you when you take off off this jersey.
Yes.
And when you put down the ball, and in this aspect, you start to lose yourself, and it can be detrimental to health, to mental health. So we have our licensed professional counselors that help them through that aspect. And the last pillar is the proactive financial support and planning. We have certified financial advisors that's there to help these young athletes. The average age of an NFL player is 26 years old.
Yeah.
Their career span is a little over 3 years. So that means by the age 30, they're getting ready to retire.
Yeah.
Now, what 30-year-old, they got millions of dollars and they know what to do with it.
Facts.
Most of them don't.
Facts.
And that's why the bankruptcy rate starts to increase 2 years after retirement.
Yeah.
And 1 in 6 NFL players file bankruptcy. Why? They don't have the proper financial literacy to be able to have perpetual success when it's time to hang up that jersey. So we make sure that they know what is the liability in an asset. What's the reason to go spend $100,000 on a car when you can take that same $100,000 and buy a multi-family unit that's going to give you residual income? And when you get the income off that unit, maybe you can go get yourself something else. But our certified financial advisors are there to help them understand the fundamentals of financial literacy. What does that mean? So you need all four to be successful to make a monumental impact in leadership, in business, in life, on and off the field.
She preaching.
Yeah, she put facts. Hashtag facts for real.
Yeah, and
at 411, she preached.
Right.
I'm not talking about no time either.
She just did her first close. She still got
she
2
can't
more.
ride all the rides at Six Flags or at Disney World, but she can preach.
Wow.
I'm almost there now. I'm almost there. I can get on a big ride.
And one thing I was gonna say as a side note, us as Black people, we the best with acronyms, man. We are the absolute best, man. We will acronym everything.
That's how I got
sense.
my fiance, because I'm good at acronyms. And she said, "You sharp." I'm like, "Thank you."
Acronyms, right?
So how has your career helped you with this part of your life?
You know what's funny? I found a happy marriage between the two. So being a clinical pharmacist, I used to be a retail pharmacist. I used to work at the 3-letter store you mentioned. Right. I ain't going to say it. They ain't going to get me.
You get me caught up.
Nope.
Walgreens.
Nope. Hey, don't get me the line.
But I used to work there, and I had my own store. I was the pharmacist in charge. I was running the entire pharmacy and everything. Wow. I had a whole staff and all. And I realized that I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So I had to go through a career transition myself. And I worked my way into managed care pharmacy, which is now I work as a director of pharmacy for an insurance company. And I oversee 6 pharmacists and a program manager and so forth. And it took me a transition. I had to go through that transition myself. So when I was going through my own transition, that's how I know what's necessary and what's needed to assist other people when they are going through their career transitions. And it doesn't matter what field it is.
Right.
A transition is a transition.
Yeah. And it's a difficult one because a lot of people sometimes, especially if you're a spiritual person and you try to live a spiritual life, right? Which means you got spiritual eyes and ears. When it's time to leave a place, sometimes the Lord got to make it hard on you so you be ready to get out of there. Mm-hmm. He said, I tried to just tell you I got something else for you. You wasn't listening. So now I got to make Mr. Wallace act a fool to make you mad so you'll move. So tell me, because a few people we've interviewed this week have talked about transitions from a safe 9 to 5 mm-hmm. to what I'm destined to do. Mm. What advice do you have for folks who, because there's a lot of folks listening, okay, that are probably in that where they are struggling with the safety net of 9 to 5, but I'm miserable and probably my partner doesn't like me very much and probably you follow me?
Yes.
What words do you have for them? I
would definitely tell them, you got to follow your dreams. You got to follow your passions. You got to follow your heart. I dealt with a lot when I was going through that transition, and it took me a lot to leave. And I took a pay cut even leaving because I realized that my peace don't have a price tag.
Hit that applause button so I don't have to clap. So
a hand clap.
Yes, so that's what I would say. You got to do what you got to do. Make sure you go in the lab, get in the closet, meditate, pray, and have a plan. Make a strategic plan. Mm-hmm. And I tell people all the time, oh, this is my New Year's resolution. Baby, did you write it down? Do you have steps that it's going to take to get there? And if you make a Okay, I'm gonna harp on this real quick. So y'all just
Yeah,
follow me.
yeah. We here all day.
If you have a goal, and this is your goal for the year, right? So I'm gonna use weight loss for y'all, right? Because everybody want to lose weight.
That's cold blooded. She looked around at us and said,
No,
"What's
not
a
for
good
y'all.
goal?"
No, but
For y'all.
I'm gonna make it. I just want to make it a little easy. I just want to make it a little easy.
Relatable.
Right.
This is transitioning.
Right. I just want to make it a little easy.
Transition.
But let's say, New Year's resolution. Everybody, I want to lose 30 pounds. I want to be fit and fine by the summertime, right? So the question is this. Now, you have this idea, this goal. Well, we're not going to call it a goal. You're going to call it a vision, a desire, a want, whatever it is. You have this what you want to do, right? But in order to make it into a goal, you have to write it down. And if you know what you want to do this year or in 6 months, now you break it down. What do you have to do each month? Now, what do you have to do each week? Now, what do you have to do each day? Because once you do that, now you have a strategic blueprint on how to get what it is that you want to do. So if you want to leave that 9 to 5, what do you need to do to make it happen? What do you need to do each month? Oh, I'm going to be gone in 6 months. Okay, what you need to do each month? What do you need to do each day? What do you need to do each week? What is it that goal is? So that way you can make those small steps to have a big reward.
Write the vision and make it plain.
There you go. And I will say this, and I'm gonna hit on monumental mode real quick with that acronym. But I'll say one of my favorite parts of monumental mode is the determination and discipline, right? Because determination is the relentless pursuit to go after your goals, even if you fail. And my quote is this: failure is success trying to get your attention. Because if you fail, it's giving you the blueprint on what not to do.
Right.
So that you can do something, do better next time, right? So when you have the discipline, that's showing up even when you don't feel like it.
Right.
And you have to have both of those in order to really achieve what it is that you're going after.
Right. Lessons, not L's.
Right. And then on top of that, you said about failure, some people have a hard time with that. So how would you say to how to train? You said transition.
Yes.
If people are always saying, well, I don't want to fail. I want to be perfect. But we already know, you have to work at it. But it is failure when you are doing that. How would you talk about that?
I would say at the end of the day, if you don't even try, you already failed. So you don't want to try because you're scared and you want it to be perfect. You already failing. You're still in the same spot. No movement is still failure.
Right.
Not taking a step is still failure. What if I do? Well, what if I don't? Well, listen, you will never know if you never try. Do it. Go after it. Make a plan. Write it down. Stick with it. Be consistent. Have motivation. Be optimistic. Do you really believe that you could achieve the goal? Like if you want to leave your 9 to 5 to truly follow your purpose, do you really believe it? Because if you're not optimistic about it, it's not going to happen for you. Right. Optimism is important. That's the belief that everything is going to work out in your favor in the long run. Now, it don't mean everything going to be cupcakes and rainbows. So I'm not lying to y'all. Okay. I'm not saying that. But what I will say is that that at the end of the day, even if you go through different things, at the end of the day, everything is going to work out in your favor in the long run.
Yeah, love it. And for our viewers we had talked about some professional athletes and, that financial transition and how to prepare financially. She gave the example, instead of spending $100,000 on that Lambo, go get a 4-person unit, right? Invest in some real estate. Well, there's a practical application for people in everyday walks of life as well, right? Which means you may not need to go out to the movies as often. You may not need to go buy that Balenciaga bag. And if you really knew what Balenciaga stood for, you wouldn't be buying it no way. You put the Louis down and go get a Chewy and put the rest of the money up. So again, if you're going to make that transition, you're going to have to make some financial adjustments because again, sometimes you're going to leave a safe 9 to 5. How to get away with that? Change yourself. Make a part of your plan is I got to do my finances different than I did them before because I can make this 45,000 work even though I was making 80,000. I can make this 45,000 work if I just tighten my belt somewhere here and there. I ain't gonna give up chocolate chip cookies, but I might give up Funyuns. Do something like that.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I will definitely say, success without sacrifice is not very often is going to take place. So you definitely have to be willing to give up certain things in order to really achieve what it is that you're going after. many times people like to have the instant gratification.
Yeah.
We're not here for instant gratification. Right. We're here for long-term, perpetual, continual satisfaction.
Right.
That's what I want. I don't need that gratification. I want that satisfaction of knowing that my children's children is taken care of. See, that's how I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do in this life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard somebody say microwave solutions for an oven-baked problems.
Come on.
That ain't going to happen. You know? And so she said earlier, she goes, failure is success trying to get your attention. I've always said that if your perspective is right, you can learn much more through failure than you ever could through success.
Yes.
Because guess what? If you succeed, sometimes you succeeded on accident. You didn't do nothing. You just won. You just you follow me? But when you fail, if your perspective is right, you learn much more through failure than you ever could through success.
Yeah, what they say, everybody wants the glory, but don't want the story.
That's right.
And I was telling somebody the other day, this is definitely a side note, but my husband and I, we purchased a daycare center in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. And it was a process for us
called
to get
Momentum Kids, so
Monumental Kids Academy.
There you go.
Monumental Kids Academy. Thank you. But yes, and it was a process to get the licensing. Like we've been going through a 6-month process to get our licensing. And it's like, what's a testimony without a test?
Right.
So it's okay,
and,
yeah, there you go. Right, it's the money. What is that? Nobody want that.
The whole testimony.
I got a money to tell y'all. I don't want to know.
Yeah. And you appreciate things more when you work for it and when it's not the microwave. When it's the microwave, you appreciate it, but it seems like you always chasing for the next thing.
It ain't get the simmer.
Right. Exactly.
What would you say to people because a lot of people complain and they give this, somebody again earlier today talked about excuses versus reasons, and they'll give this excuse of my family don't support me, my friends don't support me, because at the end of the day, if that's what you need to be able to do what you need to do, what would you say to somebody who thinks they got to have support to be able to have success?
I will tell you that many people are looking for validation. Yeah. It's not you need somebody to support you. You need somebody to validate you. Right. You need somebody to say, oh, you're doing a good job. Oh, I'm proud of you. Most of the time, do y'all realize, like when you have a small business, most of your clients or your customers is not your family.
Right.
They're not, but you're not doing it for them. They're gonna see it, and eventually they may, jump on and say, give you that validation that you're looking for. But see, I don't thrive off of validation. I think that that's just a bonus. That's like an extra credit. Yeah. I have self-validation. If you wake up in the morning and you're proud of what it is that you're doing and you're living in your purpose, in your passion, and you wake up and you look in the mirror and you say, I am monumental and I'm going to make a monumental impact. I'm going to do what it is that I need to do to be successful, and you happy with what you look at. Yeah. Who cares about all the excess validation? That's just extra credit.
I am somebody.
I am monumental. I open
That's
up.
My validation.
Right, there you go. I open up every speech that I give. I open up and I have the crowd repeat after me. I am monumental, because you have to say it like you believe it. Then I make them say it again. I be like, but it's really something that you make you stick your chest out a little bit. Make you stick your chest out. You be like, I am.
I'm gonna tell you, like Reverend Michael Jackson used to say, I'm bad. I'm bad. You know it. You know it. The whole world got the answer right now. Just tell you once again.
Come on.
Who's bad? I'm bad. See, if you're a believer, if you're a believer, the Lord doesn't give me dominion. I'm gonna tell you how crazy I am. Me and my business partner used to own 3 horses. Before we used to ride, when I'm brushing my horse down and getting ready to get saddled and stuff, I'm talking to him and I'm telling him, I have dominion over you. We gonna act right today. We ain't finna get out there and you ain't finna do no crazy bucking and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna listen to me. I'm calm. You're gonna be calm. Because I believe in dominion. And if you know where your power comes from, it's not about knowing who you are. It's about knowing whose you are.
Yes.
The whole world got the answer right now to tell you once again, I'm a bad man. I know it. I don't need no validation is what you said.
Yeah. And there's an artist that told me one time, because sometimes you have to just be on the path and the Lord is going to put those other people to the side. And he said, it wasn't that I'm like this great artist. He was a rapper. People just stopped doing it, and I kept going. And that's what it is sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
I agree with that. You have to be resilient. You have to be consistent. You
Right.
have to have
Consistency
determination
is
and discipline. It's important.
If I tell you the amount of people when I started this, which was almost not 8 years ago, and to today, the people that support is completely different.
Yeah.
Now some of them are still there. Now they probably watching now because it's like, oh,
Hey y'all.
you made it. Mama, I made it.
Now we cool.
I want to get back on.
Right,
That's a
exactly.
superpower.
Exactly. But you gotta just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you, in our community, legacy is a very popular thing now,
Yes.
where people are starting to say, I want to leave a legacy for my kids. Well, let me explain something to you. You cannot leave a legacy if you are not making a monumental impact today.
Yes.
I'm telling you right now. Okay, if you're not making that,
I like what you did there.
if you're not making, oh yeah. I'm getting it. I'm not just giving an interview. I'm not just participating here. You see me, can't nobody say I'm taking notes like I'm at church. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't only need to hear it, I need to write it down too, so I can absorb it and I can regurgitate it.
There you go.
See, through you or through me, you gonna impact some other folks down the road.
Come on.
You understand? And that's where you get it from. You need to have a global reach.
Yes.
And you can't reach that far by yourself because you're only 4'11". You need some tall people.
I'm like 5'1" now.
You need some tall people to, but in all seriousness, think about the impact you have. Your impact is more monumental because you just put it inside of a joker that's serious about giving it to somebody else.
Come on.
Because I'm not going to keep it for myself. So you didn't even know how much of a monumental impact you had.
Come on.
Now you know.
Yes, thank you.
You come to the right place. It ain't no accident.
It ain't.
You understand?
It's not an accident.
Right.
I did want to hit on something you said earlier when you were talking about a smile. I think that's the one thing that you gotta wear. Like you gotta wear that thing with pride.
And it's free.
It's so free, and it makes a difference. I was walking around, and a woman stopped me, and she was like, "I just want to know who you are."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
Yeah,
she was like, "You're just walking around, and I keep seeing you, and you're just smiling." But it costs a lot to be upset and be mad.
Yes, too much energy for that.
It's not. It ain't healthy.
Yeah.
No, it's not healthy.
And when you smile, you just feel good.
You'll be in an early grave. You'll be in an early grave if you don't.
Yes.
Right. I dropped my daughter off to school, and there's a lady that's there. Once I get ready to make that turn onto the street, and she just smiling and waving. Yeah. I was like, I have to see that lady every day. Yeah. When she's not there, I know she's not there.
Yeah.
And I went into her one day, and I was like, your smile, that gets me going on my day.
Sound like she's making a monumental impact.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's what I don't know what her name is. I don't know what she do.
Monumental smile.
She may be volunteering, but
That's awesome.
So we want to have you. I'm gonna make sure and give you my information. I want to get yours because I want to have you on our podcast, Queen 3 and King.
Yes.
I think you'll be fantastic for that platform. And get the word out about your organization and whatnot. And I got a friend or two in Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, awesome!
So y'all running from them hurricanes about every 5 years or so. But we certainly appreciate you being on. Very impressive.
So anything you want to leave the viewers with, and where can people find you with what you have coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me at Dr. Q, that's QUE, the coach, on all social media platforms, www.drqthecoach.com, or you can text me at 803-587-8677, and I'll text back.
Jesus, smile. Get a close up.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, we appreciate you so much. Yes. This was a great interview. You never know when somebody sits down how it's going to go. But this was
everybody that whoever represents y'all done come through. I was like, leave us alone. We're trying to, and every last one of them been banging,
fire.
Been banging.
Fire.
Yeah, I love it.
We appreciate it.
Thank you all so much.
So we thank you so much. Have a good rest of your time here on Radio Row, and we'll see you around. We'll be here all week.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right, y'all take care, and we'll be right back. All right, so we are going to go ahead and end for now, and we'll be back at about 6. We are scheduled to have Kurt Franklin, the one and only Kurt Franklin, coming on at 6, and that is Pacific Standard Time. So come right back, but we are giving you live coverage this entire week. Also, looking at the schedule for tomorrow, just to give you a heads up, we got Cam Rogers at 10. We also have 2 other guests before that. And then we have Randy Grimes, Tracy Sandler, Solomon Wilcox, Nate Boyer, and Serena Morales. We did have Darren Woodson scheduled, but unforeseen circumstances, his schedule was full, so he did cancel. But that's all right. Still love the brother, and definitely reaching out to him for any future interviews. So thank you guys for your continued support. We're going to continue our live coverage, like I said, coming up at 6 Central, which would be 8 Eastern. 8 Central Time. We're scheduled to have Kurt Franklin on. So thank you, everyone, and we will see you in a minute.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.